All welcome back to the add-on course Life Skill Development coordinated by Department of Computer Science and Applications. In the last class we had a discussion about pillars of education. We know there are four steps in pillars of education, that is learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live together. In this, learning to know means that is acquiring the instrumental of understanding, learning to do so as to be able to act creatively in one's environment, learning to be so as to better one's personality and to act with ever greater autonomy, judgment, and personal responsibility. Then, learning to live together so as to participate in and cooperate with other people in all human activities. So, the four pillars of education all started with the report entitled Learning the Treasure Within of the International Commission of Education for the 21st Century. It was published by the UNESCO. We are going to discuss learning to know in order to remain competitive in education sector globally and to attain excellence in teaching. We have to guide and equip our students and teachers with satisfactory level of technical knowledge and skills. This is a competitive and career oriented world, and hence we have to think globally and act locally. There should be a shift in learning pedagogy from conventional method to modern methods, improve teaching quality, establish technology as a strategic resource for faculty, staff, and students. Learning to know involves the development of knowledge and skills that are needed to function in the world. These skills include literacy, numeracy, and cultural thinking. Critical thinking. Learning to know includes cognitive abilities such as decision making, problem solving skills, and critical thinking skills. So, first decision making and problem solving skills. Steps for decision making and problem solving skills are: first, analyze the problem; second, gather information; third, brainstorm solutions; and last, decide on a solution. So, first, analyze the problem. Analyze the problem. Before you can fix an issue and use decision making skills, take a look at the problem at hand. Identify and analyze your business problem. Figure out where the problem stems from to go from there. Consider seeking others' perspectives to get a different outlook. Learn the issue and go beyond the surface. Dig deep to learn why you are experiencing a problem and what you can do to solve it. It asks yourself questions like: when did this problem start? Did the issue create additional problems? Then determine whether or not the problem needs immediate action. How urgent is this issue? How long will it take to fix the problem? The severity of the issue determines how quickly you respond and what steps you must take. So this is analyze the problem. Now moving to second step, that is gather information. After you determine and analyze the intensity of the problem, gather supporting information, review documentation to support your thoughts. Some information you can gather includes financial statements, marketing matrices, and calculations such as customer acquisition cost, etc. Depending on the issue, the type of information you gather may vary. Think about what reports to use to further analyze the problem and back up your claims. Now, third step, brainstorm solutions. You can expect to come up with a solution to your problem. If you don't brainstorm solutions, set aside time to think of solutions to your choice. Consider holding a workshop where you can discuss problems in your business with other workers. That way, you can receive feedback from multiple people and employees can bounce ideas off one another. Depending on the number of problems you have in your business, you may need to consult your employees. Set aside time for regular meeting until you determine a solution. Don't be afraid to ask others for their input. The more ideas you have, the more likely you can find a viable solution to your problem. Think back to previous problems you had in your business. Were they similar to the current issue? If so, how did you resolve their other problems? When generating solutions, think outside of the box. The solution you and your team use don't have to be the same methods you have used in the past. A last step, that is decide on a solution. After evaluating all possible solutions, it's time to make decision. As a small business owner, you may feel obligated to make decision quickly, but when it comes to the well-being of your company, don't be rushed. When making a decision, consider a few things such as amount of risk, possible of outcomes, negative side effects, likeliness of success. After you complete the problem solving and decision making process, implement your solution. uh, be sure to track your solution result. Did this solution fix your problem? If the outcome is not what you expected, consider the switching to another solution instead. So these are the decision making steps: analyze the problem, gather information, brainstorm solution, and decide on solutions. Now we need to have information gathering skills and critical thinking skills such as uh, I will explain. As a college students, you are tasked with engaging and expanding your thinking skills. One of the most important of these skills is critical thinking because it relates to nearly all tasks, situations, topics, careers, environments, challenges, and opportunities. It is a domain general thinking skill, not one that is specific to a particular subject area. Critical thinking is reasonable, reflective thinking focused on deciding what to believe or do. It means asking problem questions like how do we know, or is this true in every case or just in this instance. It involves being skeptical and challenging assumptions rather than simply memorizing facts or blindly accepting what you hear or read. Imagine, for example, that you are reading a history textbook. You wonder who wrote it and why, because you detect certain biases in the writing. You find that the author has a limited scope of research focused only on a particular group with a population. In this case, your critical thinking reveals that there are other sides to the story. Now, critical thinking skills: how do we know, and is this true in every case or just in this instance? Now, next step in the pillars of education, that is to do. Learning to do describes putting knowledge and learning into practice innovatively through skills development, practical development of competence, life skills, personal qualities, and attitudes. So, this includes acquisition skills and that would enable individuals to effectively participate in the global economy and society. Acquisition of skill is a type of learning in which repetition results in enduring changes in an individual's capability to perform a specific task. With enough repetition, performance of task eventually may become automatic with little need for conscious oversight. Any behavior that needs to be learned and that is improved by practice can be considered to the skill. Making a cup of tea can be considered a skill just as digging it. Now, skills that are often linked to occupational successes such as vocational and technical skills, apprenticeships, and leadership and management of competencies. So, this is about learning to know and learning to do. We have completed two pillars of education, learning to know and learning to do. In the next video, we will come with learning to be and learning to live together. So I hope you understand. Thank you all.